Hello, I'm William Michael of the Classical Liberal Arts Academy, and in this video I'd like to share with parents and students how they can access some of the helpful reports that are really useful in managing studies in the Classical Liberal Arts Academy. I'm going to share my screen here so we can take a look at the study center together. And I'm signed into my son Daniel's account. So this is an actual student look at the program, or at the study center, I should say. What happens if you scroll around on here, you don't see any information about these reports, where this information can be found. And worse, if you go up here and click on, reports up here, these are just common Moodle reports that really have nothing to do with what we're talking about. So don't waste your time on those Moodle reports. What we're talking about is something that's custom, that's built into the CLAA system. The problem is that the right menu gets hidden for keeping things out of the way when students are studying. And so you may need to open this drawer, which opens this right menu. Once you open this menu, you notice a bunch of different tools and resources appear. There are some, chat bots to help with assignments, a philosophy tutor, a quadrivium tutor, dictionary resources, an article on how to study, lots of helpful student resources. But if you scroll down to this reports section, this is where the helpful information can be found. And these two planning reports I'd like to focus on: course tasks done and course tasks to do. Whether you're a student or a parent, you can open up the course tasks done report. And what it shows you is all of the students' courses in this left column. And it shows you the 3 most recently completed activities in that course. And you'll notice that they're colored differently. If you scroll to the bottom of this table, you can find an explanation of the color key. Green tasks are those which have been completed within the last 7 days. Orange tasks are those which have been completed within the past 2 weeks. And red tasks are tasks that were completed more than 2 weeks ago. So when you look at this report as a parent or as a student, you can see with respect to courses where progress is being made and where progress is not being made. Obviously, for my son, you can see that he's been active in Latin grammar and in English composition, classical arithmetic, geometry, ethics, sacred scripture. You can see all green tasks, which means he's completed 3 tasks, at least 3 tasks, in each of these courses within the past 7 days. That's a good sign for progress in all of those courses. However, we can also see that in some courses, progress has not been made. He has not made progress in Latin reading in the past 2 weeks, or classical grammar, or this logic course. So we can see that there are some strong areas where he's been focusing his work, and there are some weaker areas where he needs to give some attention to get them caught up. This report provides students with a very helpful way of prioritizing their daily activity, because they can look and see how their progress looks with respect to different courses. It's also important to recognize that there are some courses on here that are the most important core courses. For example, my son is a freshman in high school, so you can see him focusing on composition and grammar, which are high school level courses. You can see him focusing on quadrivium courses and philosophy, sacred scripture courses, world history, which is a high school course. High school biology's got a task done within the past week. So you can see what the focus is, and you can see where attention needs to be given. And the challenge for the students is to simply work hard to try to keep all of their courses green. Try to have something green in all of your courses. And if you can't do that, parents should consider whether they've got too many courses active on the student's account, and should limit the number to help the student focus on what can get done. But this report provides a very simple, practical, visual aid to help with daily activity, choosing what tasks to work on, what to get done. And the simple principle is try to keep this report green. That's the first of the helpful reports. Course tasks done. If we go back over here, open up this side menu, and go back to reports, we also have a report that's titled Course Tasks to Do. So let's say a student looks at the other report, sees that Latin reading is in the red, hasn't done much work in that course recently. This report, Course Tasks to Do, pulls the next 3 incomplete tasks in that course and gives the students clear recommendations for what to work on. So if you've been in the red in Latin Reading 1 and you want to focus some time on that course, here's a task to start with. Get to work on this written assessment. So these are links you can see, and if you click on the link, it takes the student right to that lesson. Lesson 3 written assessment. My son hadn't gotten that done yet. He can get right to work on it and just revert to this tasks to be done report, which is, again, customized for each student based on his or her progress, but it presents the next tasks in the courses that the student should work on. So those 2 reports over on this right menu, the course tasks done and the course tasks to do, very helpful for managing daily studies in the Classical Liberal Arts Academy. And you can see as a parent, choosing the courses that appear on your student's account, that's really all you need to do, because the reports will provide guidance on what to work on next. And the students can simply work through these courses by just completing one task at a time. If we follow my son's work through here, you can see that this was the first task listed as to do. It's not marked as done, but you can see he's got lots of other stuff done. He's studied, but he has to go through and complete the assessments. So just working through courses from beginning to end, but if you want a bird's eye view of your overall progress, just go to the home page on the Study Center, scroll down to the planning reports, and look at course tasks done. And you have this very helpful, very practical summary of not only what tasks have been completed, but when they were completed, which helps parents and students to get a clear view of student progress. So as parents, ordering the courses that your children need to study is really all you need to do. And these reports and the course pages with all the tasks listed can take it from there. Now, these reports were developed, I should say, when I used to tutor students privately before these reports were available. This is what I used to do for the students. I would take their course lists. I would figure out what tasks they had completed each week. I built a planner for them, and then every time we met, I would go over their tasks, see what they got done, and I would color code the tasks to give both the student and the parent and myself a view of the children's progress. As I worked in tutoring, I realized I can automate this. I could use programming and reports to do this automatically for the students. So all of that work that I was doing in private tutoring for a small number of students is now available freely for all students. So that's one of the benefits of automation and how we use our work in education and our knowledge of programming and Moodle development to make these resources available at no cost to parents and students. So those 2 reports, the course tasks done and the course tasks to do, are crucial for managing studies in the Classical Liberal Arts Academy. Now, as far as questions about how much time, what should get done each day, the answer is very simple. You should develop for your children a balanced schedule, a balanced weekly schedule. So you've got to take all things into consideration: family, work, chores, physical health, extracurricular activities, all of the different responsibilities that a child has, and you've got to build them into a responsible, balanced schedule. The goal in that schedule is to establish blocks of time on fixed days each week that are just identified as study times. And then in those study times, which can be devoted to specific subject areas like the trivium, the quadrivium, philosophy, theology, the humanities, modern mathematics, English language arts, whatever, those blocks should then be used very simply to get as many tasks done as possible in the available time. And what's important about the balanced schedule is, I'll often hear talk about, oh, the kids are frustrated or the kids are upset. If your children have a balanced schedule, they're not going to be frustrated by scheduled times of prioritized, task-oriented studies. What they will get frustrated by is feeling like they're swimming in an ocean in the middle of the night or being asked to study all day long with no other activities. Those things will be frustrating. If a student isn't physically healthy and physically strong, he'll complain that because physical studies are difficult. Study is a physical activity. It's difficult, and weak children can't study well. So a balanced schedule with fixed blocks of time for specific subject areas, and then a focus on task completion during those study times. Very simply, parents should help their children get tasks completed during scheduled study blocks. That's as simple as it can be. And any desire to micromanage studies or schedule for the sake of scheduling and fill out planners and fill out schedules, that's all a waste of time. If you're not getting academic tasks done, you're not doing anything. You can spend all day long filling out planners and calendars and schedules and all of this nonsense, organizing and reorganizing the classroom. You're not getting any academic work done. Complete tasks. Focus all attention on task completion, and the children will succeed. They'll make progress. You can track their progress using these reports. And at the end of the year, if you focus on completing tasks, all of the reporting, all of the standardized testing, whatever else, college admission, it will all take care of itself if you actually complete academic tasks. So focus on academic tasks. Without academic tasks, there's no progress, no transcripts to talk about, no college admissions to talk about, no standardized testing to talk about. Focus all of your attention day by day on academic tasks and teach your children to do that and to learn to work like that, focusing on necessary tasks, not all of the administrative, bureaucratic nonsense that surrounds education. So again, these reports, just to review, are located on the Study Center. If you don't see them, it's probably because this side menu is hidden. Just open that drawer, it's called, scroll down to the reports, and they're right there in this planning section. All right? So I hope that's helpful. That's how I recommend using the Classical Liberal Arts program. It's how it's designed to work. And I am very confident that if students use the program in this way, focus on completing tasks, and if parents assist the children in completing tasks, they'll enjoy great success. I hope that's helpful. God bless.